Okay, so are you looking for a way to make money? A model that actually works while you're busy doing, well, literally anything else.
It seems like such a simple idea, a
Hmm.
simple PDF file. And
Yeah.
that's really the promise that kicked off this whole deep dive.
Right.
The idea that you could create study notes or maybe a fitness guide, a template, just a single digital file.
Yeah.
You make it once and it sells 24/7 all over the world.
And that promise, earning money online without even having to show your face, is just incredibly attractive. So for you, the listener, if you're looking for that quick, actionable knowledge, our mission today is pretty critical. We're not just going to list some websites. We need to unpack the actual technical trade-offs, the fees, the whole step-by-step process that the source material lays out. We're really analyzing this whole model.
Yeah, this deep dive is all about giving you that clear structure. We're going to move past the marketing hype and look at the real earning potential here.
And maybe challenge that passive label just a little bit.
Exactly. Give you the strategy you actually need to succeed.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. The product itself. We're not talking about complicated software here. It's just uploading a helpful file.
Right.
What kinds of PDFs are actually making money, according to what we've seen?
Well, the scope is surprisingly broad. It covers almost any need you can think of. The sources point to educational stuff first, like study notes or worksheets for kids.
Okay.
But then it moves into organizational tools, things like custom planners, journals.
So if you're, say, amazing at organizing your personal budget or tracking goals, you could basically just productize your own system.
Precisely. And that's where the successful products are. They move beyond these generic ideas. It's not just a journal.
Right.
It's, a 30-day guided gratitude journal for new mothers or a quick start home renovation budget tracker.
Ah, so the niche is everything.
The sources are really clear that success is in the niche. Then you've got specialized content like recipe books, fitness guides, and maybe the most beginner-friendly stuff, templates and coloring books.
That makes a lot of sense. You're tapping into different needs: utility, entertainment, education. But the real hook, the core economic idea here is create once, sell again and again.
Absolutely. That is the fundamental reason this is pitched as such a low labor model.
Yeah.
You put in the time and the creativity up front.
And then there's no inventory, no shipping.
Exactly. No physical constraints. Your earning potential isn't capped by the hours you work. But, and this is a key nuance, you have to choose a product that's evergreen.
What do you mean by that?
Well, a Christmas planner is seasonal, right? But a detailed, scientifically backed fitness guide, that's designed to earn, forever.
Got it. So it's not just about creating once, it's about choosing the right thing to create for that continuous income. But that brings up a huge question. Are we supposed to be setting up our own complex websites for this, or are we tapping into some existing audience? Where does this file actually go?
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because now we can get into the 5 specific platforms the sources highlight. And we have to talk about the fees.
Ah, always the fees.
This part is vital. Because your choice here depends completely on your product, how much marketing you want to do, and critically, how much of your profit you're willing to give up.
Okay, so let's start with the one that's described as being for pure simplicity, for testing ideas. Gumroad.
Gumroad is the ultimate entry ramp. It's incredibly easy to use. You just focus on selling. They handle all the payment processing for you.
Which is a huge weight off your shoulders if you're just starting.
A huge administrative benefit. But the sources warn you, you've got to look closely at the fee structure. While it's simple, Gumroad's cut is often a bit higher than the others because you're paying for that convenience.
So it's a trade-off, simplicity for a higher commission.
Exactly. It's ideal if you want to validate an idea really fast
Yeah.
and you don't mind paying for that simplicity.
Okay. Moving on, we have Payhip. Where does that one fit in?
So Payhip is a really compelling alternative. It focuses on a more professional look, but with a very low initial cost.
Hello.
It's free to start. You get your own dedicated store link that looks really high quality, and they give you marketing tools like discount codes and coupons.
Okay, so what's their angle? How do they make money?
Their model is GUS around growth. As you scale up, they encourage you to move from the free tier to a paid monthly subscription. And when you do that, your transaction fee drops dramatically.
I see. So they're rewarding sellers who get serious and transition from a hobby to a real business.
That's the idea. It's a very smart model.
Okay, so those two are more like dedicated storefronts. Now let's talk about the giant marketplaces. The source is called Etsy, the world's biggest marketplace for digital products.
Yeah, and this is a fundamentally different approach. With Gumroad, you have to bring the customer to your link.
Right.
Etsy gives you a massive built-in audience that is already searching for your product. Millions of buyers are on there every single day looking for planners, worksheets, coloring books, all of it.
The visibility sounds incredible. But what's the flip side? Marketplaces usually mean tons of competition and fee stacking, right?
Absolutely. The sources really stress this. With Etsy, you face really stiff competition, and you have to factor in listing fees, transaction fees, payment processing fees. They all stack up.
So you're paying for that audience.
You are.
Yeah.
And for a high-volume, low-price digital product, you have to be super efficient with your pricing to make sure you're still profitable after Etsy takes its cut.
That's the real tension then, audience versus cost. Okay, platform number 4. This takes us to the biggest book-selling platform on earth, Amazon KDP.
Right, Kindle Direct Publishing. This one is strictly for knowledge-based or narrative content. Think ebooks, storybooks, structured educational guides.
So if your PDF is basically formatted like a book.
That's your platform. Amazon promotes it globally, you earn royalties every month, and you're leveraging their massive distribution network.
And when you say royalties, that's where it gets a little more complex, right? We're talking about those 35% or 70% tiers, depending on pricing.
Exactly. The source material really emphasizes that you need to look at KDP's royalty structure closely. There can be delivery fees for larger files, and international earnings can get complicated.
But there's a big upside.
A major benefit is that Amazon handles all the global sales tax, including VAT in Europe. And for a solo creator trying to sell worldwide, that removes a massive administrative headache.
Okay, that's huge. Finally, we have Selfie. Who is this one for?
Selfie is positioned as the choice for the creator who is really focused on professional branding and more advanced features.
Like what?
It gives you a beautiful digital storefront, and it's excellent for selling bundles. So grouping multiple related PDFs together for a higher price, it's really for creators who are serious enough to pay a monthly subscription right from the start.
So they're prioritizing that polished professional look over the free entry of Payhip or the raw simplicity of Gumroad.
That's a perfect summary. The choice really does depend on your product and what you can tolerate in terms of fees and complexity.
So Gumroad for quick test, Payhip for a scalable start, Etsy for visibility, KDP for book-like products, and Selfie for professional bundles.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, your choice of platform dictates your marketing strategy. Are you trying to master Etsy's search engine, or are you pushing your clean selfie link all over social media?
That is the perfect pivot. We figured out the what and the where. So the next logical step is the how, the actual production checklist. Let's walk through that 5-step roadmap from the sources.
Yeah, this is essential because it breaks the whole thing down into manageable chunks.
Step 1 is creation. And thankfully, this part still relies on really accessible tools.
Correct. The source emphasizes using tools you're probably already familiar with, and they're free. Canva, Google Docs, PowerPoint.
So the financial barrier to entry is 0.
It is. But, and this is important, while the tools are simple, your standard of presentation can't be.
Which leads us right into step 2. Quality focus. You can't just upload some sloppy notes.
Precisely. This is where so many beginners fail. Just uploading something doesn't guarantee success. The product has to be attractive, and it has to be genuinely helpful. It has to solve a real specific problem for someone.
And the sources also mentioned optimizing the titles and descriptions, right? Like SEO for your PDF.
Exactly. So it can actually be found among the millions of other products out there, especially on a marketplace like Etsy.
Okay, so once you have that polished, attractive, optimized PDF, step 3 is just the upload to your platform, like Gumroad or Payhip.
Which is instantaneous. The platform handles all of it. This is the moment your product actually becomes passive from a production standpoint.
But then we hit step 4, sharing. The marketing effort. And this is where we have to really look at that 100% passive income claim.
Right.
Marketing isn't passive, is it?
It's not. And this is the crucial nuance that the sources clarify. The income might be passive. Money can literally arrive while you sleep. But the engine driving that income is, at best, semi-passive.
So you have to put in active work on step 4.
You do. You have to share that link across your channels, YouTube, Instagram, wherever your audience is. You have to constantly drive traffic to that storefront, especially when you're just starting out.
So maybe we should call it a semi-passive income stream. It's focused on high-leverage marketing.
I think that's a much more accurate way to put it. You're swapping daily labor for these highly effective initial marketing pushes. Which brings us to step 5, the payoff,
Earning money whenever someone buys.
the culmination of the whole process.
Okay, let's pivot one last time and analyze the bigger picture, the investment case. The sources claim this is the best side income in 2025. Why? It seems to come down to removing friction.
The whole argument rests on eliminating the negative things that you usually associate with starting a business. The sources list 4 key benefits that just drastically lower the barrier to entry.
Okay, first up, the big one. No investment required.
Right. Since you're using free design tools and free tiers on platforms like Payhip, the financial barrier is practically non-existent. You're investing your time and your creativity, not your capital.
But there's always a but.
The but is that the learning curve for mastering Canva or understanding marketplace SEO, that's an investment of your time and your mental energy. That's the true initial cost.
Okay, next logistical advantage. No shipping involved.
This just bypasses all the complexity, cost, and delays of physical goods. It's instantaneous delivery, all managed by the platform. It makes it a genuinely global business from day one.
And what about the emotional hurdle? No customer support stress.
Well, selling a physical product means dealing with returns, shipping damage, lost packages. With a PDF, you eliminate all of that. But the sources did warn that you still need a really good FAQ page.
To handle questions about file types or printing issues?
Exactly. Questions of compatibility or download links. You can minimize that administrative labor through good automation, but you can't eliminate it completely unless your product and instructions are flawless.
And finally, the massive scale benefit we keep coming back to, worldwide earning potential.
Because it's digital, your product is available everywhere, instantly. This ties right back to KDP, where they handle all the complex international tax stuff for you, giving you this massive reach without the administrative nightmare.
So when we put the low investment and high automation claims together, what does it all really mean?
It means the entire success of the operation relies on that one single initial act, creating a genuinely useful, high-quality niche product. All these factors lower the barrier to entry so much compared to physical goods, it just opens the door for anyone with a computer and a good idea.
It reinforces that central concept, a low-labor income stream earned from a single creation effort.
Making it probably the fastest path to establishing an online income without needing to build a huge brand or ever show your face.
That was a fantastic deep dive. We've covered the products, the real trade-offs between the 5 big platforms, Gumroad, Payhip, Etsy, Amazon KDP, and Selfie, and that clear, semi-passive process to get started. The sources are incredibly encouraging here. They basically just say, pick your platform, start small, and stay consistent.
And that consistency, especially in the marketing part, step 4, is absolutely paramount. The model works, but here's the final provocative thought for you to chew on. If your goal is to build a great income stream, and the core of this whole thing is create once, earn forever, then you have to think about the legal and intellectual property strategy.
Meaning what, exactly?
Well, if you're selling a template, how easy is it for someone to just copy your idea? What steps do you need to take beyond what we discussed today to actually protect that low labor asset and make sure its earning potential truly lasts forever?